You're listening to the Hella Well with Danielle show, a podcast taking women of color on a journey exploring all things wellness and travel related. We're all about showing you how to put on your oxygen mask first and creating lasting self-care habits that will free you to travel the world and live the life you truly desire, and not one you have to fake loving. I'm your host, Danielle Washington. Now let's buckle up and start this journey. Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Hella Well with Danielle podcast. I am your host, Danielle Washington, and if you are new, welcome. I'm super happy to have you here. If you don't know anything about me, again, I am Danielle Washington. I am the founder of Hella Well with Danielle, which is a wellness services company for women of color, which focuses on Reiki, which is a Japanese technique of stress reduction and relaxation, meditation, healing, coaching, and just making sure that you guys are doing what you need to be doing to put on your oxygen mask first so you can take care and be the badass queens that you were meant to be. In addition to that, I also help people through travel, curating travel experiences for busy and overworked women of color who are looking to breathe, get away through my company, Road Experiences. And so you'll always hear something about travel and or wellness here on this podcast. And for those of you who've been rocking with me for a bit, thank you for coming back. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your reviews. Thank you for telling your girlfriends about this podcast. And I just love you. And I want to give a special shout out to all those who attended the, getting out of your survival mode now masterclass. It was such an amazing experience. I'm so grateful for those women who showed up and got something out of that session, as well as I did, almost an impromptu healing circle last Sunday, actually a week ago from today. The spirit told me to start doing this. I've been wanting to do these for a bit, but, my, limiting beliefs, because we all have them, we don't always get rid of them, just how much do they show up, was saying, oh no, who are you to do this? And I had to talk back. I'm like, who the heck am I not to do this? And so last Sunday, I held the first of many official healing circles. And in this circle, we did like a meditation experience that is more individualized for each person. And then I gave people time to unpack and release, what they were feeling and what they were going through. And, everything that I've been doing and what I want to be doing further through this wellness revolution that I've been talking about is giving women of color, Black and brown women, a place where they can be themselves. They could remove the persona, the mask of, what society says, the superwoman, the mom, the dad, the mom, the caregiver, the wife, the worker, whatever the role that you play. Remove all that makeup, all those things, all those personas, all those masks, and just be who you are and unpack exactly how you feel. So when someone asks you in the group, how are you feeling? It's not the, customary, oh, I'm just fine. No one inside, you're like, no, I'm tired. I'm tired of being there for everyone else. I'm tired of these different things. I'm stressed. I'm depressed. I'm all these different things, or I'm just happy. I'm excited that life is so good, but I feel uncomfortable telling people because who does that say when everyone's going through COVID that I'm feeling good? So more healing circles be coming. I'll actually be doing one later on this month and some more details on that one. But I wanted you guys to kind of know about that. So I'm so grateful to the women who attended, again, the masterclass and the healing circle, just because it just warms my heart. And all honesty, I just want to see us heal on another level. And in that note, this month is Black History Month. It is the shortest month of the year. No shade to the government for that one, but it's Black History Month and it is one of my favorite months. And so in this month, I really wanted to focus in on how we as a culture have healed historically, ancestral, and how we use different forms of healing that we use today. And the one I'm talking about today is one of my favorites, is music. Music is bomb. I hella love music. And if you think about it, it's interesting how if hearing a certain song can really truly teleport you back into a special memory, or it can shift your mood dramatically just after a few bars. Music has been used as a form of healing and medicine in many different cultures. And you don't even need to understand the lyrics to really be moved and feel music. Like when I lived in Italy, when I first, moved to the country, I didn't know Italian, but I would listen to Italian music or listen to, music in French in other countries. And I'm like, I don't understand what they're singing, but this music really, truly moves my soul. And it's actually how I learned Italian. I actually learned Italian through listening to music and movies, but really music was a huge part of me learning the language. And so I love that, music is just so beautiful. But even if you want to take it on another level, according to all major spiritual and religious texts, the universe was created and brought into form through sound. Yo, think about that. In the Hindu Bhagavad Gita, I knew I was going to botch that, but I'm going to go with it. It literally translates into the celestial song or the song of the Lord. And in Egyptian religious texts, it states that the singing sun created the world with its cry of light. And then, of course, in the Bible, you hear the mention of music everywhere, numerous times. And of course, all the Psalms. And, sound or vibration is literally the most powerful force in the universe. And if you think about that even further, music at its core is sound. And sound is rooted in vibration. And that's why sound is so important in our world. And what I love about music is just used in hella cultures. And it's used in hella cultures to heal people. Music literally helps people move. Like literally music makes you move. Like I hear a certain beat. Like I was listening to some Bob Marley, which I don't normally do, but I was listening to Bob Marley. I was like, yes, I found myself swaying to the music. I was just like, where's my joy? I'm like, oh no, I don't need to smoke anything on this podcast, but it just moves you literally to move. If I hear like back that thing up, honey, let me just tell you, watch out or drop it like it's hot. If I hear a certain song, oh my God, if I hear Tribe Called Quest, any song by Tribe Called Quest, I'm moving. I'm like, it's just, music just literally makes you move. It also connects people in ways that no other medium can. And it's the true universal language of the world. What I also love about music is it pulls on our heartstrings and it makes you feel like every emotion you could possibly think. To put it bluntly, music is medicine. And at times it's the only medicine that your heart and soul needs to heal. And, if you want to take it to a scientific level, okay, I can do that too. So if you think about music, our brain actually has different ways of processing different parts of music, like the pitch, the melody, rhythm, the tempo, and it's been shown scientifically as a form of medicine. Doctors use it in operating rooms to help them focus, but also to help patients relax their mind and keep, a steady, rested heartbeat. It's used in depression to help reduce anxiety and stress. It's used with, patients who have strokes to help them improve their motor and cognitive functions. It's used as, to help reduce side effects in cancer therapy. And it helps improve the quality of life for those who have dementia. Music is everywhere. And it heals in so many different ways. If you think about it, when I say music is everywhere, it's like literally everywhere. It's in the background of your life. If you really think about it, think about how music has been played out in your life. And you realize it's everywhere. If you just think about those little places you go, you go to restaurants, music is playing in the background. You go to the dentist's office, music is playing in the background. Not the best music, but it's music. If you're in elevators, you have music in the background. Stores have music in the background. It's because music was played in stores that I freaking hate Christmas music. Like, I don't even low-key hate Christmas music. I hate Christmas music. I worked at Express, a clothing store, for 2 years. And so, of course, I had 2 holiday seasons. And they kept playing the same songs over and over, like the Christmas songs, to the point where I just hear Christmas song. And it puts me back in that frenzy of people fighting over things and being in the store. So it moves me to hate Christmas music. But if you look at music, it's literally everywhere. And so I encourage you to think about the role music has played in your life. And if I was to think about the role music plays in my life, it was a starring role in my family and in my personal life. My dad loves music. And I always say to people, and I think I've said this in previous podcasts, and I'll probably say it again, because it's true. Music is my first love. dancing's my mistress, and I hella love my mistress, but music is my first love, and it has played such a role in my life. My dad listened to music all the time, like especially, you always knew when my mom, my brother weren't home, and we come home and my dad was alone, he was blasting music. You'd always hear it from outside because my dad loved his music. He had a turntable, so we had a record player, but we also had a reel where he put music on these reels, which I was like, a kid, I was like, what the hell is this? But, it was old school reel. And so we would always listen to music. We had an 8-track in the car. We would drive all over the country. I've actually been to almost every state except for Alaska, because we would drive everywhere as a kid. And I remember driving to my aunt's house in Seattle when we lived in San Francisco, and my dad would be playing Luther Vandross. To this day, I hear Luther Vandross and it puts me to sleep because it's those sounds that, as a child, that it soothed me. I heard Luther Vandross, certain songs, and I'm like, house is a home. I'm like, and it's time to go to sleep because it's Luther time. And so music has just truly played a role in memories of my childhood. But also, it was how I expressed myself. And, dating myself slightly, we'd have these, voicemail machines, or you just actually have voicemail in general, whether it's on your phone or whatever it was. And I used the background of that voicemail sound of whatever. I was like, hey, it's Danielle, I'm not here, leave a message, whatever. But I would play music first to kind of express how I was feeling. So if I was pissed at my boyfriend at the time, or if I was sad, if I was happy, you would hear through the music, this is how I'm feeling. So you can leave a message, but no, this is where I am mentally. And it's always, I've used music during heartbreaks, when breaking up with a boyfriend or just falling in love. Music plays such a huge role. And it also played a role in my sex life. Let's keep it real. Who hasn't had a baby making music, playlist? If you're black or brown, I know you've listened to it. You have songs that were your songs you listened to when you were having sex. It just put you in a certain mood, or if you wanted to feel sexy. There were certain songs I have, and I still have. I listen to Spotify. I'm a huge fan of Spotify. Spotify and music streaming has been a game changer. But Spotify, I have my, I call it the notte mix, which is notte is in Italian is night. It's my nighttime mix. And so that's my I need to be sexy mix. And so music has just been a huge part of my life. And, I talked about it earlier that it's how I actually learned Italian. But then you go into music like gospel music. Gospel music helped me really get in touch with my spirituality as well. I was raised Catholic, and so, and it was it was a hippie Catholic church. I'm just going to say, go there right now. They had tie-dye, people with, kumbaya songs are literally playing. And so when I would go to my dad's family's church, which are Baptists, or my cousin has a church in San Francisco, Ebenezer Baptist, that's shout out to my cousin's church in San Francisco. They would, sing and I would, at first I would not try to hear the music, or I would go to Glide in San Francisco. I think that's actually when I really first started getting into gospel music. And having music move me in a certain way spiritually. So it was at Glide. Actually, I didn't think about that right now. And it was at Glide Church, which is a very popular church in San Francisco, very multicultural church. And they would sing these gospel songs. And I would just find myself crying. And I'm like, dude, boo, why are you crying? And why are you so moved? And it's I would hear certain songs, and I'm just gospel songs. And I'm just wow. That's for me. Even the other day, I heard a song called Encourage Yourself for the first time by, I think her name is Sherry Jones Moffett. And it just brought me to tears. I remember hearing songs like Marvin Sapp's The Best of Me. He saw the best of me when no one else around, everyone else around could see the worst of me. And that for me just moved me to be yo, God did see the best of me. God does see the best of me. God, universe, source, spirit, whatever you want to call it, saw the best of me. And so gospel music is so huge in my life and has moved me in so many different ways. But also one thing I love about music is, it's been used for social and political movements. You think about it, the civil rights movement, A Change is Going to Come by Sam Cooke. That song was so powerful, and it was literally the theme song, or one of the many theme songs of the civil rights movement. You think of, James Brown, Say It Loud, I'm Black and I'm Proud, supporting the Black movements and encouraging Black people to be proud of who they are. Then we talked about the gospel music, and gospel music was so huge in the civil rights movement, and it's been shown that devotional music, or music that is sacred in nature, has the power to transform individuals and the collective consciousness into a heightened state of love, forgiveness, compassion, and physical healing. People listen to music and they have the spirit hit them. It goes in so many different ways. And then, you want to go on another level. Think about the 70s. You had Marvin Gaye and What's Going On, and he was protesting against the Vietnam War and other societal things going on at that time. And then you think about groups like NWA, Niggers with Attitude. I love NWA. And it was one of my first kind of like, yes, this is my music. And not saying that I could relate to what they were going to, because I grew up in the suburbs of the Bay Area. So I wasn't in Compton, though I used to go to Compton, but I didn't see Compton as, what they were seeing. But they had songs like, Fuck the Police, which, protested police brutality and racial profiling, and, other songs like Gangsta Gangster and Them and Public Enemy. And you look at people like Kendrick Lamar is talking about the reality of their life and, what's going on and protesting what we see. And so music has been used in social and political movements throughout our, history. But it also is just a form of healing. And it's such a beautiful form of healing that we've been using, our ancestors used music to heal. And they still do. If you go to different cultures in Africa or different countries in Africa, you'll see how they use music as a form of healing. You see how they use dance as a form of healing. And it's just so beautiful how it's used. And, you want to take another step. If you want to look at music as healing, Lemonade by Beyonce was a whole album. I think it's 12 songs, all about healing. She went from healing through situations of marriage, healing situations with her father, healing through situations with society, from daddy's lesson to freedom to formation. She invoked, Yoruba Orishas like Oshun in her yellow dress, smashing windows, and different ways that she's gone about doing it. And even if you're not even listening to the beats, or if you're listening to the lyrics or watching, the visualization that she created with the form of Lemonade, you can see there's so many hidden secrets and hidden gems in that album on each and every song. Like if you've never seen or heard the podcast basically what they do is they dissected Beyonce's Lemonade album. That is bomb. And to learn the hidden things that she put in, even in the samples, have meaning and have power, where she, had the plantations she used in the visualization. And so Lemonade was Beyonce's form of healing, but she also made it to heal us as women, as a community, and the things that we go through on a day-to-day basis. And we need that right now so, so much. Music, I love music. And I've already said that I love music, but using music intentionally as a form of self-care has been so vital in my life. And it is such an easy and free way to, help yourself, through, to take care of yourself. And so I wanted to kind of talk about a couple of ways how you can use music intentionally as a form of self-care. And one of the first things you can do is using music to manifest how you want to feel. And I'm not talking about manifesting what you want. I'm talking about manifesting how you feel, how you want to feel. And I think when you manifest, and we have a great podcast with Danny Faust, who's amazing. If you haven't heard that podcast, talking about ways to manifest, but it's really about manifesting and to really incorporate manifestation. It's more incorporating that feeling of what you want to feel. And it has shown that works out a lot better than saying, I want this, but how do you want to feel? And music is a great way to kind of showcase how you want to feel. So think about it. Say, I want a man, which I do. I want to be in a relationship. This year, 2020, I'm naming it now. I want to be in a relationship with my soulmate. I am calling it into my world. And so if that's what I'm doing, I'm going to use music to manifest how do I want to feel in this relationship versus what do I want, and it's great. Music is great for that. So I listen to songs that, how do I want to feel in love? How do I want to feel when I'm with my mate? Like all these different things. And so I use music as a form of manifestation, and also another way I use music is I am clairaudient. And clairaudient is an intuitive ability to hear beyond the normal range of sound. And like the literal meaning is being clear hearing. And so through being clairaudient, you receive messages from guides and ancestors or, your ancestral tribe, whatever it is, via sound. And so what happens to me often is like, I'll hear it through songs. And think about it. You ever heard a song that plays in your head over and over and over, and then you may hear it on the radio. Then you may hear someone humming it on the street. And it's not like it's a popular song. It's like a song that just comes out of the blue, out of nowhere. I encourage you, if this happens, listen to the lyrics and actually listen to the lyrics that you're hearing in your head, because it may not be the same lyric that actually is the real lyrics. And so I do that all the time. Like I remember when I was doing my Reiki master training, another girl was doing Reiki on me, and she's like, I keep hearing Richard Mark in my head. And like, she wasn't like, she was on mute while she was doing my healing, because I'm chilling, laying down, relaxing and enjoying the energy healing that she's giving to me. But, on her end, she kept hearing Richard Marx, I'll be waiting for you. And she kept playing, it kept playing in her head over and over and over, to the point where she kept hearing, I need to sing this out loud. And she told me, she's like, this has never happened before. I'm like, oh yeah, this happens to me all the time. I think that's for me. I think that message is for me. And so I get messages constantly through my head, through music. And again, not all the song lyrics are right. And so I always write down what it is, but there usually is a meaning and the significance when I start thinking about it. So clairaudient in the self-care meanings that I get through having this ability to hear messages through music that I keep hearing in my songs. Like I remember hearing a Hall & Oates song, and this is before I knew I was clairaudient. And I'm like, dude, why do I keep hearing this Hall & Oates song? I'm like, I don't even like Hall & Oates anymore. But if that is something that resonates with you, I encourage you, as your own healing process, to write down those songs and kind of look into the messages that you may be that, people and ancestors and guides and the universe, God, whichever you want to call it, are trying to tell you something. It's funny when I'm here saying that, I'm like, I hear the Color Purple, God's trying to tell you something. Ooh, honey, I shouldn't sing, because I am not a singer by any means. But music is also a great way to boost your energy and motivate physical movement. Think about it. So for me, and I gotta believe I'm not alone in this, I don't really like to exercise. Not like hardcore exercise. Like I like dancing. I love to go for a walk, whatever. But like to be in a gym and, do like, core fitness and all these different things, that should kind of be hard. But music helps motivate you. So I listen to certain songs, and there's 50 million workout playlists on Spotify to prove that, music really is a great way to help you motivate to physically move your body. But it also boosts your energy. You want, to be happier. You want to feel confident. Like I was listening to Kendrick Lamar's DNA, and like that song just like, it moves me to be like, yo, I am royalty in my DNA. Yes, I am royal. I am worthy. I am confident. I am powerful. And I listen to those types of songs that help to boost my energy, and also music is a great way to improve your sleep. Sound healing, which I'm definitely going to do a podcast on, but sound healing, which uses certain frequencies and sound to synchronize the brain waves to achieve, a profound states of relaxation. It helps restore, the normal vibratory frequencies in your cells, in your body. And it's just beautiful. And there's certain frequencies that really work in a certain way. And so if you go to YouTube and put like sound healing or YouTube meditations for sleeping, or music for sleeping, or music for, releasing trauma, like there's all these different music musical songs or whatever they are, that have been put together, tracks to help you in that actual healing process. And there's certain frequencies that are really good for that. And what I discovered recently, which I love, 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 is that there's actually certain frequencies for a day. So I'm in Clubhouse. If you're not in Clubhouse, Clubhouse is bomb. But I go to these sessions called Ritual Rising on Clubhouse. And if you're on Twitter, you go to #Ritual Rising CH. You can kind of see and follow along. And what I learned from being in there is they talked about how each planet rules a certain day, and each planet has certain frequencies. And so what they'll do at the end, they'll do a meditation, and then they'll use a certain frequency for that day. So like today is Sunday, which is sun. So the sun has a certain frequency that you can listen to that, evokes healing. And, healing through sound is such a beautiful, beautiful thing. And it's been used for centuries. And it's also been used to reduce stress and relaxation. We talked about it before, that scientifically it's been proven to help reduce stress. And, if you think about the certain songs you listen to calm your mind and calm down, like if you're pissed or you have road rage or whatever, I encourage you to listen to some different music to shift your mindset, to relax and, de-stress. There's certain songs that work for everyone. And I say certain songs, I can't say this song's going to work for you because it's all subjective. What works for me may not work for you. Like my freedom song as a kid was Are You Gonna Go My Way? For somehow or another, I found a microphone in my parents' house, and it's like an old school microphone. And I would hook it up to my beatbox machine or whatever it is, the player, and I would lock the door because I knew there was going to be a problem. Because for that sound from my parents and my brother was like, what is that noise? It was Lenny Kravitz playing the electric guitar, and that was freedom to me. That song, I would sing it to as loud as I could. And of course, maybe it was just my singing, but I still think it was electric guitar because that was not their thing. And it just, it moved me in a way to help me realize that, yes, freedom is in my future. I can have freedom. Are you going to go my way? Yes, I'm going to go your way because I need to get the F out of this house. So yes, music can also help reduce stress and help you relax more. And it's also great for meditation. Music, we talked about, sound waves and all these different things. And I have always botched this word, but the binaural beats, and you can look that up and learn more about that, is, listening to those things will help you clear your mind, to be still and to hear God, hear source, hear your guides, your ancestors, to hear yourself. Our minds are constantly racing. So sometimes we need music to help us to stop the mind from racing so we can be clear to actually hear what it is we're trying to hear. And then, I obviously love, a good playlist for getting out of a funk, and just being happy. Like if I'm having a bad day, like I have the Hello Well. If you ever heard, we have a Hello Well has a playlist on Spotify, and it's all about lifting yourself up. That is my playlist that I use to lift myself up. So I start the day off with Bring Me Joy by the Layabots because that brings me joy. And I love bringing in joy into my life. But also using music as a way to revisit happy memories, to revisit people that have passed. Like I listen to certain songs and they remind me of my cousin who passed away. They remind me of my aunt who passed away. And I love having those. But I listen to certain songs and they remind me of my travel experiences. I listen to certain songs and they remind me of moments with my cousin in Texas when I used to go in the summer and spend time with her. Whoop, there it is. Every time I hear that song, I think of being in Port Arthur, Texas, listening to that song with my cousin Kia. And I'm like, yay, that was our song. Or, LL Cool J, that was our song, I Need Love. That was how we connected. And music connects you in so many different ways. And so those are different ways that you can use music as a form of self-care. So again, one, you can use music to manifest how you want to feel, tapping into being clairaudient, using music to boost your energy and to motivate you to physically move, using music to help you sleep, using music to reduce stress and relaxation, using music in meditation to clear the mind, to be still, using music to shift your mood into a happier one, and then using music to revisit memories and loved ones. So finding music, it's important to find music that matches your current mood. And, and then, if you're creating a playlist, like find music that matches your current mood, then gradually to change it into something that matches the mood that you want to achieve. And I've been talking about playlists, but, people are like, well, maybe I don't know how to playlist. And so another thing I wanted to mention was that, science has shown that when you create your own playlist, when you create your own music, that it's different than you picking up one of the million different pre-made playlists that are on things like Spotify or Pandora or whatever you use, or, YouTube or SoundCloud. And so I encourage you to create your own playlist to heal. And some tips about that is, when you're creating a playlist, you want to be intentional. Like, what do you want to feel? Are you creating a playlist to, be happy, to be focused, to be energized, to relax? And the music selection is like so vital. I gotta believe you already knew this, but I'm just going to put it out there in case you didn't kind of come to mind. But music selection, listening to, is so important. So just listen to one song at a time and examine, how does it make you feel? Does it make you feel, if this is a playlist that is to help you, be energized? Does it make you feel energized? Does it make you feel kind of sad or just kind of melancholy or just chill? And if it does, then that's not the song. That song is maybe for another playlist, and maybe a song you love, but it may not be for the playlist that you're creating to be energized. And I always encourage people to have a theme. That first song has to be fire. It has to be fire, and finding that theme song that really resonates the feeling that you want to have, and like have that theme song. So then you know that all the other songs need to kind of match that feeling that you're having with that theme song. And of course, the track order hella matters. Like, if you're going to shuffle it, maybe it doesn't matter as much, but still, at least one or two times, if not more, you're going to listen to that in order. So you really want to consider the songs in order, and do they match in the transition? What I love to do is, like, I'll listen to a song. I'll listen to like the last 20 to 15 seconds of the end of the song and the beginning of the other song, and I'll see, does it blend together? Does it blend from one song to the other? And I should mention, I used to make mixtapes as a child, and I actually used to sell them as a kid. Like, I would make mixtapes all the time. So I've been making playlists for quite some time because, again, music has been my form of healing. It's been my form of therapy. It's been my form of connecting with other people. It's been my form of expression. When I couldn't express how I was feeling and what I was thinking, I used music as my voice. And so making the track, putting the track order is really important. So, each song just plays a part in the story that you're trying to tell. It plays a part in the feeling that you want to have. So you want to make sure that the transitions are right. And obviously, the most important thing to think about is don't overthink it. Put some songs together that make you feel good, and it works. And if it doesn't work after a while, you can shift it. It does, there's the playlist is made and it can't be changed. It can always be changed. So don't overthink it. But the other thing I want to mention, I wasn't really good at this, but I'm just going to throw this out here, is learning to play a musical instrument can actually be a mental game changer. And what I mean by that is, science has also shown that learning to play an instrument can actually improve your mental abilities. It can help you with, it helps your brain function better. It's better with long-term memory. It improves your alertness. And actually it's shown in kids, my parents should have did this a little bit faster because I suck at math, but it's actually helped kids, be better in math and improve the language skills by playing music, a musical instrument. And so I've always wanted to learn how to play the drums. And for me, the drums, and it goes back to, I always talk about this, but the Dave Chappelle episode was so fire, where it talks about how, as Black people, we hear a drum and we just start moving. If you think about it, what is the sound that really gets you moving? For me, it's the drum. I love a drum. And I know ancestral that there's something about drumming that makes me go into a spiritual space and a spiritual trance. And so I've always wanted to learn how to play drums. I thought about, going more the Afro-Latin, drumming, and I've thought about some other different ways. But I do at one point want to learn how to play drums because, again, drumming has been shown through history to be used as a form of medicine in different African cultures and different Afro-Latin cultures as well. And so I love that idea. So you never know. You may hear me playing the drums one day. Shout out to my neighbors who are going to hate me. But music is important. And why? And I want to talk about why is music important right now? Music's important right now, and as we talk about it in the month of Black History, but in general, 1 out of 5 adults in the U.S. suffer from mental illness. 1 out of 5 adults in the U.S. suffer from mental illness. We're not even talking kids. 1 out of 5 adults in the U.S. suffer from mental illness. And if you kind of think about it, many people in the Black and brown community see mental illness as a stigma, so they don't actually acknowledge that they have it. They don't acknowledge that the family member has it. And so they're not finding ways to heal from it. And music is a great way to heal from it that we've been using for centuries as a culture. And, we're in a state where I don't know if this is going to go away anytime soon, but, historically and currently, as a culture, we are dehumanized. We are oppressed. There's so much violence against Black and brown people that it's structural, it's institutional, and it's individual. And we need a freaking outlet. And music has been our outlet. It's everywhere. It's easy to access. It's not expensive. And usually it's right there in front of you. It's in the background, as we talked about earlier. But more importantly, music is in our DNA. Our ancestors used music to heal. They use music as medicine. They still use music as medicine. And so I encourage you to tap into the healing powers of music and just breathe, live, enjoy life, process your feelings, get still, move your body. Just use music as it's been used for centuries. And because it's been used for centuries, it has been hella proven that it works to heal. And that's why I say music is medicine. So if you got something out of this, let me know. In the show notes, I'll be making sure to add in a couple different playlists that have been instrumental in my life currently, including the Hello Well playlist on Spotify, as well as different resources on music and a couple different things that we talked about today. But if you have a playlist that you think that we need to be hearing, let a sister know, and I'll actually add it to the show notes as well. So what are you listening to, and how has music helped you heal? I want to know. You can tweet me or send a tweet or tag me and I'm so clearly not on Twitter, but I'm still saying use Twitter because I'm just trying to use Twitter a little bit more. But I'm HelloWell Danny on Twitter, and let me know, how do you use music? How are you using music to heal? What's the playlist you listen to? What's the song? What's your go-to song for feeling better? What's your go-to song for expressing anger? We all have them. So what are you using? Let a sister know. And I can't wait for next week's podcast. So we talked about music today. And of course I said music is my first love and dancing is my mistress. So next week we're all about talking about my mistress. And I can't wait for that podcast episode. But until then, I just want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for rocking with me. And I look forward to having you listen to our show. And if you aren't following us on social media, I encourage you to follow us on social media. And other than that, have a great day and enjoy your Super Bowl Sunday. Ciao. Thanks for joining us this week on the Hello Well with Danielle show. Make sure to visit our website, hellowellwithdanielle.com, where you can subscribe to our show on iTunes, Spotify, and Amazon Music and never miss an episode. Also, you can follow us on social media at Hello Well with Danielle on Facebook and Instagram, and Hello Well Danny on Twitter. And if you like hella love the show and got some good nuggets out of it, know that I'm not too proud to ask for you to please leave a rating or review on iTunes so that we can continue to expand our reach and help other women of color. Again, thanks so much for listening, and I hope to see you next week. Ciao.